Chosen one, you are standing on the edge of something sacred. You may not even realize it yet, but the ground beneath your feet has shifted. This is not just another day, another season, another choice. This right here is a holy threshold. You feel it in your spirit, that subtle trembling when you pray, that quiet weight pressing on your heart when you try to rest, that sudden surge of clarity in moments you didn't expect. It is God whispering. The next step is not ordinary, it is holy. Lo, you have walked through seasons of trial. You have endured nights where the silence of heaven felt endless. You have faced ridicule, misunderstanding, betrayal, and yet here you are, still breathing, still believing, still standing. That alone is proof that your story is not written by the enemy. Your survival is not random. Your endurance is not coincidence. It is evidence that God's hand has never left you. He has been shaping you, preparing you, pressing you toward this very moment. And now, chosen one, heaven is turning the page. The old chapter closes, not with defeat, but with divine intention. A new chapter opens, ink still fresh, waiting for your obedience to fill its pages. But listen carefully. This next step will not look like the steps you've taken before. It will require faith that feels impossible. It will demand courage that stretches you beyond the comfort you've built. It will ask you to step where the map ends and trust the one who is drawing it. The call on your life is not small. It is not casual. It is not temporary. It is eternal. And because of that, what God is about to reveal will change how you see yourself, how you walk, how you breathe. You are about to discover that every delay had a reason. Every closed door carried a secret protection. Every unanswered prayer was God rearranging the battlefield so that when you step forward, no weapon will prosper against you. This is holy ground. This is a divine summons. This is the moment where God says, "The path you're about to take is mine. Follow me, and I will lead you." Chosen one, you are being ushered into something sacred, and the next step is holy. You may have thought the stirring inside of you was simply restlessness, but no, what you've been feeling is divine alignment. The hand of God is pressing gently yet firmly upon your spirit, guiding you toward what has already been ordained. Heaven is not confused about where you are. The Spirit of God has tracked every step, every tear, every moment you questioned if you could endure. Nothing has been wasted. Even in the silence, His voice was shaping you. Even in the wilderness, His presence was closer than your breath. This message is not born from human imagination. It comes with the weight of eternity. It carries the echo of the same voice that thundered at Sinai, the same whisper that called Samuel in the night, the same presence that walked with the disciples on the stormy sea. And that voice, right now, is speaking directly into your spirit. Do not fear the path ahead. Do not shrink from what I am about to unfold. I, the Lord, will lead you. Think of how many times you should have been broken beyond repair, yet you rose. Think of how many times doors slammed so loudly it shook your confidence. Yet in the quiet, another door creaked open, one you had not seen before. This is not coincidence. This is providence. God is weaving threads you cannot see into a design you cannot yet comprehend. But soon, those threads will form a tapestry so undeniable you will know without question that only heaven could have written it. The weight you've carried has been heavy, yes, but in God's eyes, it has been training. The isolation that nearly broke you was not abandonment. It was consecration. It was the Holy Spirit clearing away the noise, so that when the next instruction came, you would recognize it instantly. This next step will not be random. It will not be a half measure. It will not be just another season of waiting. It is marked, stamped, and sealed by the authority of heaven. You are not just moving forward, you are being carried forward. The shepherd is leading you through valleys you once feared, toward pastures you never imagined. And with every step, his rod and his staff are guarding, guiding, protecting. When the prophets of old heard his call, they trembled. Moses doubted his voice. Jeremiah feared his youth. Esther feared her throne. Yet each of them discovered this truth. When God leads, he also equips. When God calls, he also sustains. When God commands, he also covers. So hear this with clarity. The next step is not about your strength. It is about your surrender. It is not about your plan. It is about his promise. It is not about your timing. It is about his perfect hour. And that hour, beloved soul, is closer than you think. God is not just inviting you into a new chapter. He is commanding creation itself to bend around your obedience, so that when you step, the ground will hold, the waters will part, the way will appear. This is not ordinary guidance. This is divine leading. And the one who speaks is faithful to perform. What has been hidden in shadows is now moving into light. The very thing your spirit has been groaning for, the breakthrough you could not name, is approaching with divine certainty. Heaven is opening its scroll, and the prophecy written with your name upon it is beginning to unfold. This is not a vague promise. It is not a distant hope. It is a revelation meant for this moment. You have been prepared for it. You have been refined by fire for it. You have been carried through storms for it. The prophecy is this: the next step you take will not only shift your life, it will shift the atmosphere around you. It will be holy ground beneath your feet, and everything unclean that has followed you will fall away. Chains that once seemed welded shut will snap like fragile twigs. Enemies who once looked towering will scatter like dust in the wind. And where you felt powerless, heaven will display power through you. This next step will not be quiet. It will echo. It will ripple. It will send tremors into the very places that tried to bury you. For when a chosen one moves in obedience, creation itself responds. The earth tilts, time bends, and unseen doors swing open. You have wondered why the resistance has been so intense, why the warfare has been relentless, why even when you tried to take one small step, you felt invisible hands pulling you backward. It is because hell knew what was written in this prophecy. The forces against you have been terrified of what would happen if you ever discovered the truth, that your next step is not just survival, it is destiny. And the Lord declares, I will go before you. I will level the mountains. I will break down gates of bronze and cut through bars of iron. I will give you the treasures of darkness, riches stored in secret places, so that you may know I am the Lord, the God of Israel, who calls you by name. This is more than a promise of provision. It is a prophecy of transformation. The barren ground you've been walking on will bloom with life. The prayers you thought were forgotten will suddenly burst into reality. The tears you sowed in secret will become a harvest so abundant that even those who doubted you will marvel. But hear this carefully. It will not come in the way you expect. The next step will feel unfamiliar. It may even look small at first. A conversation, a decision, a door that doesn't seem impressive, yet inside it, the entire blueprint of God's plan is hidden. Remember Bethlehem, a small, forgotten town. Remember David, a shepherd boy overlooked by his own family. Remember Mary, a young woman no one regarded as extraordinary. And yet, from the places no one expected, heaven unleashed its greatest prophecies. So too with you. What looks ordinary will carry the extraordinary. What looks fragile will reveal unshakable strength. What looks hidden will shine with holy brilliance. This prophecy is not just about your breakthrough, it is about your witness. When you step into this holy path, others will see the fingerprints of God upon your life. They will realize that no human effort could have opened the doors before you. They will know that no earthly wisdom could have orchestrated the timing. And in seeing you, they will glimpse him. Yes, there will be voices of doubt. Yes, there will be those who try to explain it away as luck or chance. But the evidence will be too strong. The light will be too bright. The fruit will be too undeniable. And the Spirit says, this is the season where I make you a sign. Your life will speak the prophecy. Your walk will become the message. Your obedience will be the testimony that no one can deny. Take this to heart. The prophecy has not been delayed. It has not been canceled. It has been preserved for this very hour. The waiting was not wasted, it was strategic. And now, the revelation is here. The next step is holy, and I, the Lord, will lead you into it. Every prophecy is more than an announcement. It is a window into the unseen, a mirror reflecting eternal truths into present reality. What God is declaring about your next step is not just about a moment of change. It is about a pattern of heaven being written into your life. Think of it this way. Every step you've ever taken has carried weight. Some steps were born of pain, others of confusion. Some were decisions made in haste, others in deep prayer. But all of them, yes, even the missteps have been gathered up by God into the fabric of His divine plan. Not one tear, not one detour, not one sleepless night has been wasted. When God calls this next step holy, He is saying that it has been set apart, sacred, consecrated, different from all the others. It will not only move you forward, it will transform the very ground you walk upon. This is the deeper meaning. You are walking into covenant territory, a place where your obedience collides with God's promises, creating a moment that cannot be undone. When Israel crossed the Jordan into the Promised Land, it wasn't just about entering new geography. It was about stepping into covenant fulfillment. Every stone, every riverbank, every breath in that moment was holy because it represented heaven's faithfulness meeting human faith. So too with you. The path ahead is not simply a career change, a relationship shift, or a personal breakthrough. It is heaven marking your obedience as an altar, It is God saying, "Here is where my glory will dwell. Here is where my name will be known." There is a reason you've felt the tension rising. There is a reason why doors have shut, relationships have been pruned, and comfort zones have been disrupted. God is not cruel. He is precise. He has been stripping away what cannot go with you into this holy step. You see, not every companion can cross this threshold with you. Not every habit can survive the fire of consecration. Not every plan you held onto so tightly can stand under the weight of God's blueprint. This is why you've been pressed. This is why you've been stretched. This is why you've felt alone in rooms filled with people. Because the next step is not about blending in, it is about being set apart. Light has always carried a deeper meaning. In Genesis, the very first command God spoke into the void was, "Let there be light." Why light? Because light reveals, light transforms, light divides what is holy from what is profane. And when God declares your next step holy, He is saying He is placing His light upon your path. You will see what you could not see before. You will discern traps before you step into them. You will recognize truth from lies without confusion. Storms also carry meaning. You've weathered them. You've stood when the winds tried to tear you down. But storms are never just chaos. They are divine classrooms. They teach you what roots hold and what roots break. They teach you that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of God in the middle of it. And because you endured storms without losing faith, you are now being entrusted with clarity that calmer seasons could not have taught you. Doors, another powerful image of what this holy step represents. Some doors you banged on until your hands were bruised, and they stayed shut. Others opened, but led to empty room. Now, the door ahead is not one you will force open. It will swing wide at the appointed hour, and when it does, you will know instantly, this is the door heaven built for me. Seasons, too, reveal depth. You have lived through winters of silence, springs of slow beginnings, summers of fire, and autumns of letting go. Each season has been a parable of the soul, teaching you rhythm, patience, and trust. And now, the season before you is unlike any before. It is a kairos season. Not just chronological time, but divine time. An appointed window where heaven bends low and says, "Walk now, for I have gone before you." And journey's the most sacred metaphor of all. Because no journey worth taking is ever straight, or easy, or predictable. Journeys are filled with detours, deserts, and discoveries. But journeys shape the traveler into something new. The person who left Egypt was not the same as the one who entered Canaan. The person who left Nazareth was not the same as the one who preached to the nations. And the person you were at the beginning of this path is not the person who will step into what comes next. That is the deeper meaning of this prophecy. Your holy step is not just a movement in space, it is a transformation in essence. It is you becoming more of who you were always meant to be. And heaven is watching. The angels are leaning in. The cloud of witnesses is cheering, because they know, when you take this step, eternity shifts. When heaven sets something in motion, it leaves traces. God never ushers you into a holy step without first scattering signs along the way. These are not random moments. They are confirmations, divine fingerprints reminding you that you are not imagining this shift, you are living it. Pay attention, because some of these signs have already brushed against your life. First, there is the sign of restlessness. What once satisfied no longer does. Conversations that used to fill you now leave you empty. Places where you once felt at home suddenly feel too small. This isn't dissatisfaction, it is divine displacement. God is loosening your roots from the soil of the old, so you can be transplanted into the ground of the new. Second, the sign of unusual clarity. At odd hours, flashes of understanding strike you. Scriptures leap off the page. Dreams linger in your spirit long after you wake. Whispers of guidance come in ways too precise to dismiss. This is God sharpening your vision so that when the moment arrives, you will not miss it. Third, the sign of separation. People you thought would walk forever by your side begin to drift. Sometimes gently, sometimes abruptly. It hurts, yes, but look deeper. This is pruning. God is removing voices that would distract you, relationships that would anchor you to the past, companions who cannot handle the weight of where you are going. It is not rejection, it is redirection. Fourth, the sign of divine interruptions. Plans you carefully built crumble. Opportunities you chased vanish. Appointments you thought were certain fall apart at the last moment. But in the ruins of what didn't happen, something better emerges. This is heaven saying, "My plan is higher. My timing is perfect. Trust me." Fifth, the sign of supernatural protection. You can recall moments where disaster should have struck, accidents avoided by a second, words you almost spoke but didn't, and later realized their danger. Attacks aimed at you that never reached their mark. You thought it was coincidence, but it was angels standing guard. Proof that your life is shielded because it carries divine assignment. And finally, the sign of holy hunger. You feel an ache you cannot explain, an urgency to pray, to worship, to seek. This is not you being overly spiritual. This is your soul sensing that heaven is near. It is the Spirit drawing you deeper, preparing you for the step that is coming. Do you see the pattern? Restlessness, clarity, separation, interruptions, protection, hunger. These are not random, they are signs of confirmation. If even one of these has been stirring in your life, know this. The prophecy is alive. God is already surrounding you with hints of His movement, already pointing you toward the step He has ordained. Do not ignore them. Do not dismiss them as ordinary. Lift your eyes, for the signs are everywhere, and they all declare the same truth. The next step is holy, and God Himself is leading you. Every holy step carries weight, and with weight comes resistance. Not every obstacle you face will be obvious. Some will come dressed in disguise, subtle enough to make you doubt yourself, strong enough to make you question God's timing. But hear this, clearly the challenges ahead are not punishments. They are tests, refining fires, sacred classrooms preparing you for the weight of glory that comes next. One challenge you may face is the silence of heaven. There will be moments where you take a step and expect thunder, expect signs, expect immediate confirmation, yet all you hear is quiet. This silence is not absence. It is God teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight, to trust that His promise is still alive, even when your senses cannot detect Him. Another hidden challenge is the weight of waiting. Though God has promised, His promises unfold in layers. There may be delays that test your endurance. People around you may press you with questions. Why hasn't it happened yet? Are you sure you heard right? This is where your faith must anchor deeper than opinion. Waiting seasons forge patience that rushing cannot. A third challenge is the voice of doubt, both internal and external. Inside, your mind may whisper, maybe I imagined it. Maybe I'm not strong enough. Maybe I misunderstood. Who? Externally, others may project their fears onto you, trying to talk you out of what God is calling you into. Doubt is relentless. But remember, doubt is not truth. It is an echo of fear, and fear has no authority when faith is present. There will also be the challenge of distractions. Not every attack will come as a storm. Some will come as subtle diversions. Opportunities that look appealing but drain your spirit. Relationships that feel comfortable but lead you off course. Even busyness can become a trap, consuming energy that belongs to your assignment. Discernment will be crucial, and perhaps the greatest challenge, the testing of obedience. God may ask you to step when the path is unclear, to release something you value, to forgive someone who wounded you, to give when you feel empty. Obedience rarely feels easy, but it always births blessing. Each act of obedience becomes a key unlocking the next door. Do not mistake these challenges for signs of failure. They are confirmations that you are on holy ground. The enemy does not waste resources fighting someone going nowhere. The greater the resistance, the greater the evidence that you are walking into destiny. So prepare your heart. The silence will teach you trust. The waiting will teach you patience. The doubts will teach you discernment. The distractions will teach you focus. The obedience will teach you surrender. And all of it, every single test will prepare you to carry what God is entrusting you with. Because the holy step is not just about reaching the promise. It is about becoming the person who can sustain the promise. If the next step is holy, then how you prepare for it matters just as much as the step itself. This is where heaven's instruction becomes vital. God never calls without equipping. He never leads without giving direction. And today, He is laying out the path before you, not to overwhelm you, but to anchor you in certainty. The first instruction is simple yet powerful. Listen closely. The Spirit of God is speaking, but His voice is often a whisper. Turn down the volume of distractions. Carve out silence. Be intentional about creating space where you can hear Him clearly. This might mean setting aside a specific hour of your day, or withdrawing from environments that clutter your spirit. When you train your ear to heaven's frequency, guidance becomes unmistakable. The second instruction, guard your atmosphere. Not every voice should be granted access to your spirit in this season. Surround yourself with faith, not fear. Let worship saturate your space. Replace conversations dripping with doubt with words soaked in hope. Your atmosphere shapes your discernment, and discernment is the compass you will need as you step into holy ground. Third, fasten your faith through prayer. Prayer is not a formality, it is your lifeline. It is how you align your heartbeat with God's Speak His promises aloud. Declare His word over your path. Prayer is not about convincing God, it is about convincing your spirit of what heaven already decreed. In prayer, your fear shrinks, your courage rises, and your steps align. Fourth, surrender what you cannot control. This is where many stumble, because control feels safer than trust. But holy steps cannot be taken with clenched fists. Lay down the need to predict the outcome. Release the burden of orchestrating every detail. Say with honesty, Lord, I give you this plan, this relationship, this fear. Lead me as you will. What you release into His hands, He multiplies. What you cling to in fear, you risk losing. Fifth, take small steps with great faith. Sometimes you wait for a monumental sign before moving, but God delights in obedience that looks small. Write the letter. Make the call. Say yes to the opportunity. Step into the unfamiliar. Small acts of obedience create ripples that open larger doors. Remember, David's small stone felled a giant. Your small step may shift nations. Sixth, be vigilant against compromise. The enemy will offer shortcuts. Easier paths. Opportunities that glitter but are hollow. Do not settle for what looks good when God promised what is holy. You were not called to almost moments or half blessings. You were called to the fullness of His promise. Hold fast, even if it costs you comfort. Seventh, stay anchored in the Word. Scripture is not just a book, it is your sword. When doubt attacks, wield it. When fear whispers, declare it. When temptation comes, resist with it. The Word will remind you who you are, whose you are, and why this step matters. It will keep your eyes fixed on the eternal when the temporary tries to distract. And finally, the eighth instruction. Walk in expectancy, not anxiety. Expectation is faith in motion. It is waking each morning with the conviction, today could be the day God fulfills His word. It does not mean you strive, or panic, or force outcomes. It means you live with open hands and open eyes, ready for the move of God. An anxious heart sees obstacles. An expectant heart sees opportunities. And those who walk with expectancy attract the evidence of what God has promised. These instructions are not burdens. They are gifts. They are not weights, but wings. They do not slow you down. They lift you into alignment. Do not dismiss them as simple. It is often the simple that carries the greatest power. A whisper opened Samuel's ministry. A rod parted the Red Sea. A manger cradled salvation. In the same way, your obedience to these divine instructions will open the way for miracles. So walk carefully. Guard your atmosphere. Pray with fire. Release control. Take small steps. Reject compromise. Stay rooted in the Word. And live expectant. This is how you prepare for the holy step. This is how you position yourself to not only hear God's leading, but to walk boldly in it. When God calls you into a holy step, He does not send you unguarded. Every move ordained by heaven carries the weight of divine protection. The same God who leads you also surrounds you. You may not always see it, but you are never walking alone. Think of the walls of fire around Elisha when the enemy army closed in. His servant saw only danger, but Elisha's eyes were open to the chariots of fire covering the hills. That same covering is over you. You may feel surrounded by trials, by voices of opposition, by uncertainty, but greater are those who are with you than those against you. There will be moments where fear tries to creep in, where shadows stretch long and whisper lies about your safety. But in those moments, remember, the Lord is your refuge, your strong tower, your unshakable fortress. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, not one. Even in your sleep, He is guarding. Even in your weakness, His strength is perfect. Even in your missteps, His mercy redirects. You are not stepping into the unknown, you are stepping into the arms of the Almighty. This assurance is not just poetic, it is practical. God's protection shows up in ways you may not notice until later. That closed door that felt painful, it was shielding you from a hidden trap. That delay you despised, it was saving you from danger you could not see. That person who left abruptly, it was divine intervention, sparing you from deeper harm. Angels are stationed on your path. They go before you, making crooked places straight. They stand behind you, covering blind spots you didn't know existed. They walk beside you, carrying burdens you thought were yours alone. Their presence is not symbolic, it is reality. And their assignment is clear: guard the Holy One as they step into holy ground. Peace, too, is part of your protection. It is not just about outer safety, it is about inner stillness. When chaos rages around you, peace becomes your shield. Peace silences panic. Peace blinds the enemy. Peace steadies your steps when everything else shakes. And when the enemy comes with intimidation, remember this: you are marked, you are sealed, you are covered by the blood of the Lamb. Hell itself recognizes the seal of God, and it trembles. That is why attacks rise. They see the covering and want to break it, but they cannot. You are untouchable in the ways that matter most. So do not walk forward with hesitation. Walk with assurance. You are not fragile glass. You are fortified steel wrapped in divine fire. You are not unguarded prey. You are a warrior with heaven's army at your side. This is the truth. The holy step is not only guided, it is protected. And as you walk into it, the blessing will not only meet you, it will keep you. When you take the holy step, everything changes. Not slowly, not subtly, but unmistakably. The shift will be so clear that even those who doubted you will have no words left to speak. This transformation is not just external, it is internal first. The fear that once clung to you will fall away like broken chains. The insecurities that whispered lies will be silenced. Where your heart once carried heaviness, it will beat with courage. Where your mind once wavered, it will be anchored in unshakable faith. You will recognize yourself no longer as one barely surviving, but as one rising in strength. Fulfillment begins with identity. God is rewriting the way you see yourself. You are not defined by the failures behind you. You are not confined by the labels others placed on you. You are not the abandoned, the overlooked, the underestimated. You are the anointed. You are the one chosen to reveal God's power in this generation. And as that identity settles into your spirit, your atmosphere will begin to change. Doors that once resisted you will open with ease. Resources that felt impossible to reach will come into alignment. Connections will appear at just the right time, divine appointments no man could have orchestrated. It will feel like pieces of a puzzle snapping into place, and suddenly the picture you couldn't see before will become clear. This fulfillment is not selfish, it is sacred. When God blesses you, it is never only for you. Your transformation becomes a testimony. Your breakthrough becomes someone else's roadmap. Your deliverance becomes another's hope. And people will look at your life and realize, if God could do it for them, He can do it for me. Emotionally, you will sense a freedom you didn't know was possible. The anxieties that once ruled your nights will lift. The bitterness you once carried will dissolve. The weight of proving yourself will vanish, because fulfillment reveals that you were never meant to strive, you were meant to flow in grace. Spiritually, your discernment will sharpen. Your prayers will carry greater authority. You will sense God's presence in ways that feel almost tangible. What once confused you will now seem obvious. The fog will lift, and clarity will reign. And materially, yes, even here transformation will manifest. Provision will find you. Opportunities will seek you out. What was withheld will be released. Because when you walk into holy ground, heaven does not only shift the unseen, it aligns the seen as well. The fulfillment will not come without awe. You will pause, overwhelmed, realizing that God's hand has been weaving this moment since the very beginning. Tears will fall, not of sorrow but of gratitude. Worship will rise, not because you were forced, but because joy will spill from your soul. And here is the most astonishing truth. This holy step is not the end, it is the beginning. It is the opening of a greater journey, one that stretches beyond your imagination. But it is the doorway you've been waiting for, the threshold that proves God's word was always true. When you step, the promise becomes reality. When you step, transformation becomes visible. When you step, fulfillment is no longer a prophecy, it is your life. And when people look at you, they will not see the one who struggled, the one who waited, the one who wrestled with doubt. They will see the one who trusted God, took the step, and walked into destiny. Pause here. Breathe. Let the weight of what has been spoken rest on your spirit. This is not just another message, it is a commissioning. Heaven has marked you, and the next step is holy. Now seal this truth with affirmations, not just whispered, but declared aloud until your atmosphere shifts. Speak them with conviction. Let them rise like incense before the throne. Affirmation 1. I am walking into holy ground, and God Himself is leading me. Affirmation 2. No weapon formed against me will prosper, for I am protected by the Almighty. Affirmation 3. My next step is not small, it carries divine purpose, and I move in faith. Affirmation 4. I am chosen, equipped, and anointed for the journey God has prepared for me. Let these words echo in your home, in your mind, in your heart. When doubt rises, return to them. When fear whispers, declare them. When the enemy tries to distract you, lift them like a shield. And now, receive this blessing. May the Lord go before you, leveling every mountain and straightening every path. May His angels encamp around you, keeping you in all your ways. May His Spirit whisper to you in the night and confirm you in the morning. May every door meant for you swing wide, and every trap set against you collapse under its own weight. May your heart remain tender, your faith remain strong, and your courage never fail. May you step boldly, knowing you do not walk alone. For the God who called you is faithful, and He will bring it to completion. So walk forward with confidence. Lift your head high. This is not a season of wandering, it is a season of fulfillment. The next step is holy, and God Himself is leading you into it. Leave this moment in peace, not anxiety. Leave it with expectation, not hesitation. Leave it with a steady heart, knowing that the one who began this good work in you will finish it with glory. Go now, blessed, sealed, and equipped. Your step is holy, your path is ordained, your future is secure, and when you move, heaven will move with you.